Guys, today I wanted to talk about the transfer rumour that is Alexander Isak to Newcastle United. So the report reads, Newcastle United have held talks with Real Sociedad about signing Sweden striker Alexander Isak, aged 22, from the Spanish side in a club record deal. And that is being reported by the Telegraph. So not too bad a source. I think it would be a good signing for Newcastle. They've already signed one striker since the takeover in Chris Wood, who hasn't done a bad job. He hasn't scored many goals, but his overall play for Newcastle, they've got out of him what they expected to get, really. Like, when you sign Chris Wood, you're signing someone who's very good at holding up the ball, but isn't going to score you 20 goals a season. So he's done a fine job, Chris Wood, since his signing from Burnley in January. And I do think Newcastle need to sign a striker, because if they are looking to potentially push for a European place next season, they are going to need someone who is going to get quite a few goals. And Callum Wilson, I feel as though, is unreliable with his fitness, and I mean that's an understatement. Like, when he's played for Newcastle over the past 2 years that he's been there now, he's been very good, scored a lot of goals. In fact, his goal to minute ratio is one of the best in the league. I think he's not far off it, but it's just like he probably misses more games through injury than he actually plays. Is the problem. So they out of the two strikers, there are problems: lack of goals and lack of fitness. So they definitely do need to sign another striker. Now, Alexander Isak is a player who is coming off the back of not a bad season, but a season that wasn't good. Wasn't as good as the one prior to it. I think everyone took notice of him last year, especially after a couple of good performances for Sweden at the Euros, and he was linked with Arsenal for a while and given a £75 million price tag. Now, I don't know what Real Sociedad would hold out for if they were to sell him this year. It doesn't say in the report, but I'd assume it'd be slightly less, maybe 50 to 60 million. So yeah, that's still quite a big fee to pay, because I think Newcastle's record is 40 million, which they paid for a striker in 2019 who's now become a number 8 in midfield in Joe Linton. So yeah, this would be their transfer record. And would be very expensive. But I think if there is any team who in world football can afford to break their transfer record right now, it probably is Newcastle. I mean, PSG, if they were to break their record, they'd be paying 200 million. City would have to be in treble figures. So yeah, out of all the rich clubs, Newcastle have got a fairly easy record fee to break out of all of them. Do I think he'd fit in a team? It's difficult to say, really, because I mean the Spanish league is so much different to the Premier League, so no one's ever really sure when a player is signed from La Liga if they will fit. But I would have thought he wouldn't be a bad signing. I think he'd probably get enough goals to be considered a success if he was to sign for Newcastle. And yeah, I don't think he'd be a bad signing. So up front right now, obviously they've got Sam Maximin, and whether he'd link up with him, that'd be a big part of, is he a success? They also play Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy, so there are other players up there who he would have to play alongside. In Eddie Howe's sort of, it's a strange system. It's not really a 4-3-3, but it's not really a 4-5-1. It's almost like a 4, then a 3, but then it's 2 wide players, then one up front. It's almost a bit like a Christmas tree formation. So yeah, he would be the lone striker, or unless Eddie Howe decides to change the system up a bit and play with two up front if Callum Wilson's fit. Because I don't see Isak and Chris Wood playing together, put it that way. Because what I've seen from Isak is that he's, for a tall player, he is very good with the ball at his feet, very good at dribbling and quite quick. And yeah, just like very quick, good feet for such a tall player. Like, you don't often see that with strikers. So it's not like a hit the ball long and he'll hold it up sort of player. He hasn't really got the physique like Chris Wood has for that, or the strength coming up against Premier League centre-backs. Like Chris Wood, for example, if you put him up against, I don't know, just trying to think of a big centre-back now in the Premier League, Virgil van Dijk or Raphael Varane, Chris Wood could, challenge for a ball. Probably wouldn't win it, or it would occasionally. Sorry, my camera just cut off a little bit. I was basically just saying how Chris Wood can compete up against big Premier League centre-halves, whereas I don't think Isak would be able to in the same way. I don't think he's like, his aerial ability is horrendous. It's just not quite the level of someone you would think for his height, sort of, if that makes sense. So for the rating I'd give this transfer, I'd give it a 7. I think there are maybe more proven players that Newcastle could be going for with the budget they have. Like, I don't know, off the top of my head, in the Premier League, you've got maybe, I was going to say Calvert-Lewin, but his injury record's been horrendous of late. Maybe someone like Ollie Watkins from Aston Villa. He could be a more Premier League proven striker, and whilst he might not be as like universally recognised as being a very good player as Isak is, or as expensive as Isak is, I still think he's more proven in the Premier League, if that makes sense. So he would be a more safer signing to make. Is probably the correct term to use. But yeah, I still don't think it would be a bad signing this for Newcastle. Just it's just like one of them, like when Joe Linton signed from Hoffenheim, was it, 3 years ago now. Like, he wasn't proven in the Premier League at all, and it didn't go to plan, and it was probably the worst signing of the season in his first year, and didn't have a great year last year either. In fact, it's only really since Eddie Howe's come in that Joe Linton has become like a solid player in Newcastle's team. So yeah, this is a transfer that definitely could go one of two ways. But yeah, will it happen? It might do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.